Yeah, he doesn't have to go first. Take it. I feel you, man. I feel you.
Yes, I love it. I don't know, I feel like clarinet would be too big for me, but then flute is too, I don't know. I feel like oboe's just right for me.
Going into high school, I was still playing the oboe and I wanted to do marching band, and the oboe is not a marching instrument, so I was put in color guard my freshman year. Well, my favorite part of band now is marching band because I really do like percussion. I wish I would have found it in middle school, but I still do like playing the oboe because I'm actually pretty good at it. Surprisingly, I started out on the saxophone and switched to oboe in 6th grade. I did cheerleading for Oakville for 3 years, and it was kind of hard to juggle that with band, but I had time management and it was a little stressful, but looking back, all the memories were really great that I made. We got to see Washington, D.C., Indiana, and we're going to Hawaii in 2 weeks, so that'll be awesome. Well, I plan on attending 4-year university. I don't know what for yet, but I want to continue with marching band and concert band. I want to major in like math and science, something, engineering maybe. Yeah, it's really, it's challenging at first going into 6th grade band. It's kind of hard to get used to like reading notes and rhythms, but once you get into the swing of it, like it's not that hard. It just kind of, it's second nature.
I would definitely say to, definitely try it. But definitely, I would definitely do it because some of my friends have been like, wow, like I really should have tried it in 6th grade, but I decided it wasn't really for me, but definitely they need to give it a shot, and it's definitely worth it.
Once I started band, I was in 6th grade, started in middle school. It was pretty much the greatest thing. I made so many friends. The experience was just delightful. The teacher goes through and teaches the steps that you have to teach, like notes first, and then reading the music, then playing it in a rhythmic way. In high school, I had so many options, I decided to go to all types of sciences. But you don't expect somebody to go, hey, you play in band, but you're also like a science geek. And I'm like, yeah, science is interesting to me, but at the same time, band like is so thrilling, and I feel it. It's like family. Any type of clubs you're in also, they'll rearrange that for you, but definitely they'll go around that.
I mean, if you really think about it, music is a foreign language, and music is an art. I'm in French club, culture club, and I did NHS, and I mean, if you're thinking balancing with band, with those activities, it wasn't very hard because like you always have time for everything else. And even if you have to like miss a practice for because you have something else going on with another event or a club, Mr. Brown and Mr. Kramer, they're very understanding. You learn how to manage your time very well because you don't have much time to spend on like random stuff, but then you still have homework to do and everything. You learn time management through the band, through marching band. Also, you learn how to be competitive.
I played piano in elementary school for like 2 or 3 years, and that didn't really work out for me because I wasn't good at it. A lot of my friends were doing band, so I wanted to stay in touch with them. Band has made me a lot less shy. I used to be really shy when I got into band because I wouldn't talk to anybody, and I was just like the little kid in the corner who just played by themselves. But then as I grew up through band, through those 7 years, I've made tons of friends, and they've brought me out of my comfort zone.
Halfway through 6th grade, I switched to bassoon because it looked really interesting to me. It was kind of a challenge, and I like challenges. It looked like it had, well, the buttons. Because it has all these octave keys that changes the pitch. I like to play Lord of the Rings and just things that I hear, and I've started writing my own music too. I like to compose. I think it's made me a lot more confident because you have to go up on stage and play before a bunch of people, but it's also made me more trusting of other people and trustworthy because I have to rely on other people to do their part well, and they're relying on me to do my part well, and I know that. Went to Six Flags and went to Holiday World, which we just went on a couple days ago. Get to ride all the rides, you get free food at Holiday World, so that's a bonus. Yeah, but we still play, and we did pretty good.
We played Alligator Alley. The composer wrote it for his daughter who plays bassoon, so it has a lot of cool bassoon parts. The oboe plays the treble clef and bassoon plays bass clef, so it's bigger and lower. I kind of knew how to read treble clef, but 'cause I had to play the recorder in 3rd grade for school, but I didn't know how to read bass clef.
When I saw the bassoon, it was kind of like just this kind of urge to play it. It just looked cool, and it was pretty much the one instrument that I could get a sound out of at the band night. So it varies from high notes to low notes. The high notes, it actually sometimes sounds like a flute, but when you get the low notes, it sounds like a foghorn. The best way to describe band is this huge, awkward family, because once you go on all those band trips and sleep in hotel rooms together, I mean, you just kind of get to learn about each other, and it's awesome. I think I can speak out a bit more for myself because, I mean, in band, we're all just very outgoing, and being immersed into that really helped. Band is one of those classes where you're looking forward to going to band. Everybody's just so happy in the band room.
Well, I've always wanted to be in band, so in 6th grade, as soon as in 5th grade when we heard the band come over to the elementary schools and we got to look at everybody and hear everything, I just fell in love with band instantly. I have a lot of fun in band. Band is just such a big family, and you just have so much fun going on trips and just hanging out with your friends. It's just so fun, and it's such a laid-back environment. And once you start getting really involved with your instrument, you start to meet other people too.
I just played an excerpt from my solo from last year and from this year as well. It's pretty cool, in my opinion. I think it's worth it because of the relationships that you gain. I think it's worth it because of the reward in the inside. You know, at the end of marching season, you feel a reward, and there is one. You know, the band banquet, and just everybody gets together, and it's really fun. And I wouldn't exchange my time in band for anything in the world.
I wanted
wanted to go the whole course. Like I wanted to start in 6th grade and keep going throughout the rest of my career. But ultimately, I decided to do band because it just seemed like the better choice. I would get to be in that band setting, and I met so many new people that are still my friends today in 6th grade band.
Okay, here we go. Pick up C, second time, and 1, 2, 1. That fanfare needs to run out. Go! Thank you. Low brass. Was it going into H? We've asked for a crescendo.
I was in my 5th grade music class, and then Mrs. Brown came over and the 6th graders played for us, and instantly I liked the trombone and I really wanted to play it, but then when it was time to play the instrument, I couldn't make a sound, so I was like, percussion.
So Equinox followed by Mercy. What else? Equinox. A 1, 2, 3, 4. A 1, 2, 3.
One, two, three, four. 1, 2, ready, play.
You know, I always had kind of, an interest in music, and then I had older friends that went through the band program, and they always told me how great it was, so I decided I'd go into band.
I used to be shy. I used to be a very introverted person, and after a couple of years it really changed me to be the outgoing, performing person that I have to do for band. It's just changed me tremendously. Just hanging out, being a part of the band, being a whole family really. It's just the experience of being in band.
The band started for me in middle school, and I started in 6th grade playing trombone. I actually took lessons going into 6th grade, so I had a little head start, and I took band because my friend actually wanted me to take it with her, so I took it, and I pretty much owe that all to her for joining band.
When I came into clinics to try out different instruments, I started out wanting to play the trombone, but my arms were too short to play that, so I moved to the next closest thing, which is the euphonium. And I always did a little bit of freestyle on the piano, just messing around with it, and I really liked it. So when the opportunity to come to band came up, I started to join band. Yeah, it's fun. It's kind of lonesome sometimes because some people don't move to euphonium or baritone during high school. Well, I've been in a couple of ensembles during middle school, and I was going to do an ensemble solo next year, and I got a 1 in my solo for an ensemble for 8th grade. You still have time for other things because there are people in band that have been doing sports, other after-school activities, and been in different clubs. Playing in front of people and learning music, it's really not all that hard once you get used to it, because learning music is really just learning how to talk. Well, you just see the notes and you get used to hearing them and playing them. So it's kind of like how learning to talk, you just hear the language and you speak the language.
Like, I've never played an instrument before. Like, heck, like even in 5th grade, I did not know what frets were on a guitar. And like, I come in here and I'm like, oh, this is what music is? This is how you do it? Okay. I started 6th grade on the trombone, played all through middle school on the trombone, get here, there's 7 of us trombones. Mr. Brown's like, all right, we have to make a tactical decision. One of you is going to baritone. So I get moved. Like, I'm like, hey, I'll do it. It sounded like fun, so I moved. And like no more than 2 months later, and he's like, hey, I want you to switch again. And I'm like, all right. They're all low brass instruments, so they're all in the key of B flat. So like, they all share technically a similar, like the first note and stuff, only tubas are like a whole octave below, so they're a lot lower. I mean, I just like being able to play music. It's pretty fun to know you can sit down and everyone's like, oh, you play an instrument? And I'm like, yeah, I play in a band. And it's like, you're in a band? And I'm like, yeah, I play tuba. And for some reason that doesn't generate the same response as a guitar, but I'm fine with it. But I like being able to come in and play. I like having the people I know. It's like you form this little group and it's like, oh, you're the band kids? Yeah, we're the band kids. Of course we are. And it's nice to have that feeling, like you have a sense of belonging. But I gotta say, of everything, having that summer, coming in, everyone's like, oh, it must suck not having a summer. I'm like, I have a summer. I just have a summer with a purpose. You guys go around and read books all day, play video games, and sit around at home being vegetables. I'm out marching. I mean, I get a sweet tan, I learn how to play music, and I'm all in shape, and it's just a lot of fun, and it doesn't hurt to have really good people there. You do a lot more than just sit around and play music. You have to learn how to take leadership, you have to learn how to lead a section, you gotta learn how to be determined, independent. You may not use band the rest of your life, but you'll definitely use the things you learn from it.
Five, a 6, and a 5, 6. Now we go. A 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, point and close. 14, 15, 16, you're there.
All right, 3, 2, 1, you're there. U1 F6 C4, U1 F6 C4. All right, 12 counts. Please turn to set 10 and set it. Go. Moving forward to set 10, 12 counts. Forward march, 12 counts, go.